What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 3 of the conversion on the Baja Kraken. Um, so, this one here is probably going to be a little bit short. I can't really get it out and run it yet. I don't have what I'm comfortable running it with. But I wanted to kind of overview, show you what I did. Um, but let me show you what I've done so far so you can kind of get the idea here. All right, so first things first, we did mount our motor in here. This is Loctited. All these bolts now are Loctited. I added the spur on, I added the pinion on, and I did Loctite the nut there as well. Everything's been Loctited. Metal to metal is Loctited. Underneath, all this stuff, I Loctited everything there. So we should be ready to rock and roll. Now, the other part here that I wanted to show you is this is my lipo area for right now. Um, this is not going to be the permanent area, but I thought about getting it out just to kind of run it a little bit. But this is only 6S. There's only two 3S packs here. They're shorter. None of my bigger packs fit in here as of right now. I have to wait till I get everything taken out of here and get the new tray in. But temporarily, there is a show you this here. So there is a plate underneath the Baja. We're going to get this in right there. This plate right here. So you see how it goes above the Baja? So these bolts stick up just a little bit. I think there's like a nut on the bottom of the top of this plate or something where it comes through. So that's cool and all, but I didn't want it to puncture the batteries. So what I did was I added some foam pieces to the bottom there over top of it. Now, it's not anything perfect. It's, very temporary, even for me. And I just added a strap from the side here. I just got it running through this channel here on each side of the rail and just kind of got them kind of held in there. Now, the backside's not really held very well, but, we're not going to be going crazy with this on our first couple runs anyway. I just wanted to kind of see what it would do and how it would run. This is an 800 kV motor. I decided to go with the kit. So the ESC that I'm using is the 200 amp, not the 250. Plus the 250, I'm not sure if it's censored or not. It shows a wire. Here, I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So on the box here, it shows like it has a censored wire, but I'm not seeing anything on here that says it's censored, and I haven't opened it up yet. So, I just decided it's probably better to go with this. It's already been out of the box. I've already looked at it, drooled over it, and everything else, so that's what we're going to do. Now, I did make a plate for this ESC to fit on. It's not going to be perfect, but maybe we can get a couple of those screws on there, and we'll put some tape on there and everything as well. So what we're going to do is back here in the back here, there is two holes, one here, one there. And I believe on the Integy model, and I think there's a Pro Tech or Pro something model or whatever of this kit that has a plate that you could buy. I think it comes with it, and you might be able to buy it separately as well. I haven't found it to buy it separately, so I decided to 3D print something similar. So my idea is to just go right there. It'll go over top of the transmission here, and it will allow us to, now all these wires are going to get in the way here, so it's not going to be perfect. Sit on there, something like that. If you could get all these wires, keep all these wires from catching on everything, kind of show you how far back it might go. So it'll go back to touch this little cross brace right there. And then this plate here will slide up a little bit more. And what that'll do, something like that, somewhere in the neighborhood. And that should give us plenty of balance and everything else as well. It does add a decent amount of weight to the truck with the can here, the ESC, and these lipos. Now the bigger ones that I have, they're going to be even heavier. So we'll just have to kind of see where it's at as far as weight distribution, and hopefully it's at least similar to what the gas motor was. I'm sure it'll be a little bit lighter. I don't want it to be too light. I was a little worried about that with the front end here, but it feels like it's going to be okay. So we'll just have to see how it does. Now these are the blocks that I 3D printed that I was telling you about here. I did a two-tone print on it. I was running low on one of the filaments anyway, so I figured I'd go ahead and run it out and just run the other one on top of it, which I ran out of the black and just used the red on top of that. Nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. So I've got a bolt on each side going straight through, and I didn't clean the ends up over here on purpose because they're kind of melted a little bit, and maybe that'll add a little bit of rigidity and strength. The bottom here, each side has one of those little screws on them. Try to kind of match them up a little bit as best I could. And then underneath on both sides, you have two little screws as well. Now those don't go up very far in there, but you know they get quite a few threads in there, so it should be okay. If we have a problem with those, I will replace them out. This one right here on the side here, I'm not sure that I replace it out. I might leave it there because of the length. You know, it might get close to intersecting this or damage the hole, you know, for that. So I don't want to get too close to that. That was the whole point of making those shorter. But if we have to, no problem. You know, we'll figure something out on it. I still have a few screws left here. I still have a few of those standoff post kind of thing. Which most of those, I'll show you what I used one of them for. And this is all that I've known these to be used for, is stuff like this. So there's a space in between there. Now on the other side of this, you have a little space right there, but it's just plastic, so there's no need for a space there, and it doesn't come with anything smaller. I mean, there's a retainer clip in there, but that's supposed to be for the spur gear, and I'm going to keep it and save it for later. So I don't know what those would go for. Everything that I'm putting on now, I don't see any advantage of adding those to anything. So I don't know. I'm probably just going to leave those off for now, unless I find another place on the truck that could use them. I do have a few extra screws, not many. And I thought about maybe even adding some nuts to the end of these, or at least those two over there. This side over here is a little bit different. So this side over here has a bigger hole. So I had to go with a bigger bolt right here on the top. And that one is the only one that is not Loctited because I'm not 100% sure that I like the way that this thing is going. I did look at quite a few pictures of other conversion kits, and a lot of them have this brace here on the inside and this one on the outside. So I think this kit is like a copy off of like an Integy or something similar, the ones that I mentioned earlier. At least that's what I'm thinking myself. So if that's the case, then this is correct. It's pretty tight, but obviously if I put it on the outside, I wouldn't even be able to do anything with it. It's all warped and twisted, and then it pulls the thing this way, and there's no way that could be right. So it looks okay right now. Like I said, it's still tight. I don't know if that's just, everything needs to kind of like flex a little bit and kind of work its way in. I don't know. We're just going to have to kind of see what we got here. And if anybody has done one of these and you notice me doing something wrong, let me know, man. I'm not too proud to admit that I've, done something that might not be kosher. I've never done a kit like this before, but I am pretty happy with the way this one's turning out so far. It seems really good. There's my mesh. I've already got it set. It seems like everything's working out really good for me. I get a little ahead of my words here, guys. Sorry. I'm kind of excited about this build. But yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to fit this ESC plate on and then figure out something for this. I also have this guy here, which I got to get some more zip ties. But that's going to be for the motor itself. So I'll get that on there as well. But I do have to get some more zip ties, so we'll do that one later. It's really no big deal, guys. All you do is set it over top of there. You got zip ties that go in here on each side. So basically you just get the longer zip ties, as long as they're not real super fat. You run them through one side and then up the other side, Dunsky. And the way that you do it is you would run them on the inside of there. I don't know if you could see that or not. you'd run through on the inside, or you could run them through the end on one side and just kind of stop it. And then on the other side here, you could run another one on there, put the end on there, zip it down, and then cut that other piece off. However you want to do it, it'll hold. You don't have to be like He-Man tied or anything like that. I think it's going to be just fine, even if it just sits there. As long as it's got something to kind of hold it in place, I think it'll be all right. But that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get back to this here, get that part on, and then we're almost ready to kind of take it out. I do want to get a run in before I get the plate in, but I kind of want to go over some checks and stuff too. So we'll do that all in the next video here, so we don't make this one too long. Well, right now we're just going to get the ESC plate on and the ESC on as well. We'll do all our checks and everything on the next video.